Welcome, everybody. I'm Bev, and this is none other than Ronny Hinson. And he is here on Absolutely Gospel's roundtable here at the Quartet Convention. And we are having so much fun this week.
It is a blast, and I'm so glad I almost missed it. I'm so glad I didn't miss it because
I'm glad.
I got to see Bev.
Oh, you're so sweet. It's crazy. We live in the same town, and we have to come to Pigeon Forge to catch up.
I know it. I know it.
We're always going this way and that way, and you're always on the road, and a lot of things going on.
I was tired, and I saw you the other night, yeah. and you said you had just come back from Vermont. I said, I was a flight, and she said, I drove. I said, oh my goodness, I'm not tired anymore. She's tired.
Exactly. And
but you didn't look. You're always bubbly, and it's what we do.
It is. Fun. It's the joy of the Lord, I tell you. He gives us strength, yes, for sure. Does. We couldn't do what we do without it.
He is my Geritol.
There you go. I hear a new song.
Yeah.
So what do we have here? Show the camera.
I have my brand new CD, and I'm excited about it. In a world of EPs,
yep.
This one has 14 songs on it, including a new version of The Lighthouse.
And, I've heard that.
And it is going great for me, and it's even got a song on there. My new single out is called The Rock.
Oh.
And it is a powerful, powerful, uplifting song, up-tempo song called The Rock. And
awesome.
Jesus wants to resurrect those dreams and those things in your life that have died, and you buried them back in a cave somewhere and called them dead. And
that's awesome.
But Jesus is the resurrector.
Yeah.
And just when you think it couldn't happen, if you'll just have a little bit of faith, a grain of mustard seed faith, you'll hear sandals scuffling in the middle of the night as the resurrector comes to resurrect your dream. Are you going to write a song like that, Ben?
I just might have to now.
Yeah. There's a lot of what do they say? Rabbit's trails you can go down on that one.
Oh, it really is. There's some good thoughts out of that.
There's one on this new CD that has it's a song about the time when I traveled with my family, the original Hinsons.
Yes.
And we got on our buses wasn't Prevos then. They were everything but a Prevo. But
it was almost an old school bus, huh?
The Partridge Family. But it's called the Old Silver Eagle. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's about dreaming in my mind about getting back on that old bus and showing up somewhere at a younger age on a different stage and singing with my family.
You know, those were good times. They were not always easy, but man, what you have to look back on those times and think, what all the music that God brought out of you guys during that time. And
we got our start in the church of a pastor that both of us knew and loved so well, Brother Emmett Hubbard. And
awesome man of God.
And he influenced. I started to say kind of, but he influenced us both in a great way, in a powerful way.
Yes.
He and Sister May Hubbard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sister May Hubbard. She was a great influence in my life. She was such a icon in me.
She taught Sunday school class. Mm-hmm. They had a church that had big prayer towers, real high, stuck up in the air.
Yeah.
And it's where I wrote The Lighthouse, in the basement of Brother Hubbard's church.
The pink church, right?
No, it was
Tabernacle. That's right.
Tabernacle, and it's big, set right on the interstate in Salinas, California.
Yeah.
And I wrote The Lighthouse there in the basement toilet of
That's
Brother
the
Hubbard.
funniest story.
But on the top part of that building was two big towers. They called them the prayer towers. And on Sunday morning, Sister Hubbard would teach class in one of those prayer towers, and she'd teach our young people's class.
Yeah.
And we were so energized and so prayed up and so on fire for God when she come out of that class that we brought that whole energy and that whole spiritual mood right into the main service of the Sunday morning, and many a time it was just It was just heaven come down,
Right.
because of the way she taught the class.
She did. She was an awesome speaker
Oh, man.
and teacher. And I sat under her, and I sat under her when I was a teenager, and until I think I was like 19.
Wow.
And then I went into a different class, of course, but I was married by that time. But she taught me so much. Not just she taught me how, along with my mom was a great teacher, but they taught me how to share the word. They imparted in me that part of the anointing of God that flows through them, that I feel like God just gave me a little piece of each of them, and I just love that. I mean, to think of the connection that God gives us growing up and fills our life with such great people.
And it affects us here. As we sit at this table, that never goes away. It's an influence that in fact, it is the glue of our lives that holds us together.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Let me show this. This is the new project from Ronny Hinson. 14 songs on this. And don't you have a new video on the lighthouse? Did you do a video?
I didn't do a video, but that is in the making.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, I thought
of the lighthouse itself.
Not the project, the song.
Yeah, I did.
Because you went to California to do it, right?
Yes,
I thought that was kind of cool that you went back to California to do that video. So that was really cool.
Not only to California, I went back to the actual lighthouse. You know, when I wrote the lighthouse there in that bathroom, in the stall next to the wall on a piece of toilet paper, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had never seen a lighthouse.
Man.
I didn't like the ocean for reasons that probably I don't have time to go into, but I hated, despised the ocean even though I lived close to it.
Yeah, you did.
And I have no inkling in my mind of ever seeing a lighthouse before I wrote that song. And after the song started going up the charts, and I wondered why everybody was so excited about that song, because I was a novice writer, didn't know what had happened, you know.
Yeah.
And so I got on a bicycle and I rode 40 miles on a bicycle, came back in the middle of the night.
That's crazy.
I went out to find a lighthouse, and I found the old Pigeon Point Lighthouse in Pescadero, I believe it is, which is about 30 miles out of north of Santa Cruz, California.
Right.
And I found that lighthouse and sat on that rock and looked out across the ocean, and it was a stormy day. The marine layer was coming in. I was getting wet
from the mist of the...
And I looked at that piece of toilet paper that I could hardly read the words on it, but I saw that the picture that God had painted through that song was identical to what I was seeing there for the first time.
Oh,
and
wow,
how it
that's
related
cool.
to the fact that our lives are a mess and we're a shipwreck.
Yeah.
And we're going under, and there's no way of getting out of it except if we look to that lighthouse.
Right.
And that's, thank God I did, and thank God many of you did, and thank God some of you are on your way now to look to that old lighthouse, and you don't have to drown against the rocks of sea.
Isn't that so cool?
That's it.
How old were you when you wrote the Lighthouse?
When I wrote the Lighthouse, it was 1970, and I was born in 1946. Have you got a calculator?
And you can calculate it yourself.
Yeah, it gives you something.
You can calculate it yourself.
I had no idea. Down through the years, I've said 30, 18, 17.
But I tell you, it's been an awesome song for you, for your career, that you've written many, many other fabulous, wonderful songs throughout your career. And I have a song that we sat down at one Quartet Convention one time in Louisville, and I said, would you listen to the song real quick? And you told me to change something. He says, Bev, that's not bad, but you probably should change this to that.
And you told me, butt out of my business.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I changed it, and it has been a great song. So thank you.
You're welcome, Bev.
So we are honored and blessed to have you here. And I know the people, if you want to get this CD, where can they get it?
They can get it at ronnyhinson.com.
RonnyHinson.com.
And they can get it at rh.lighthouse@gmail.com. They can order it there. And they can also get it at my booth, 308.
There you go. Come to his booth. If you're at Quartet Convention and you're seeing this, or if you're not at Quartet and you're coming, come to his booth.
Hey, and they can order it at 615-851-9542. You can call if you just want to do the old landline.
Yep.
And also, can I just real quick tell them?
Yes, tell
we
real quick.
have a picture at the National Quartet Convention of that lighthouse that I was talking about that I went to, and it's a professionally painted picture that will be an heirloom on the finest paper that you'd ever paint a picture on, and it's done by the most professional painter that I've ever seen. And I put the lyrics of my song on that, and it's one of 500 you'll be getting, and after 500 we won't be selling any more, and it'll be an heirloom that you will want to pass down to your children. It's beautiful,
That's
it's
awesome.
original, and people are buying it at the booth, and so come by and
That
get
is
that
cool.
as well as the CD.
Well, that is a cool thing. That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, it was.
That had to be a God ordained
My
moment
wife,
there.
Yeah. she thinks of everything, and you won't be sorry that you just come by and look at it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
And if not, it'd probably be on your website,
Yes.
different places, so that
Yes.
you can get
Until
to it
we-
until the 500 are gone.
And that's it.
And then we're done.
And it is professional. I mean, it is top notch.
Well, I'll have to go look at that. Well, folks, Ronny Hinson, Bev McCann, we're glad you stopped in on Absolutely Gospel. And until next time, we'll catch you around the corner.